For our final section, let's take a look at Monitor and Backup Azure Resources. An action group is a collection of notification preferences defined by the owner of an Azure subscription. Azure Monitor and Service Health alerts use action groups to notify users that an alert has been triggered. Various alerts may use the same action group or different action groups depending on the user's requirements. Each action is made up of the following properties. Type, which is the notification or action performed. Examples include sending a voice call, SMS, email, or triggering various types of automated actions. Name, a unique identifier within the action group. And then finally, details, the corresponding details that vary by type. Application Insights, a feature of Azure Monitor, is an extensible application performance management or APM service for developers and DevOps professionals. Use it to monitor your live applications. It will automatically detect performance anomalies and includes powerful analytics tools to help you diagnose issues and to understand what users actually do with your app. It works for apps on a wide variety of platforms, including .NET, .Node.js, Java, and Python, hosted on-premises, hybrid, or any public cloud. It can monitor and analyze telemetry from mobile apps by integrating with Visual Studio App Center. So how does Application Insights work? You install a small instrumentation package, or SDK, in your application, or enable Application Insights using the Application Insights agent when supported. The instrumentation monitors your app and directs the telemetry data to an Azure Application Insights resource using a unique GUID that we refer to as an instrumentation key. You can instrument not only the web service application, but also any background components and the JavaScript in the web pages themselves. The application and its components can run anywhere. It doesn't even have to be hosted in Azure. There are several ways to get started. At runtime, instrument your web app on the server, ideal for applications already deployed. This avoids any update to the code. You can do so at development time, where you add Application Insights to your code. This allows you to customize telemetry collection and send additional telemetry. You can instrument your web pages for page view, AJAX, and other client-side telemetry. Analyze mobile app usage by integrating with Visual Studio App Center. And you can use availability tests. Ping your site regularly from our servers. The FAQ document has some possible quick hits for the exam. Always worth scanning through and preparing. In particular, there's a section titled, Have I Enabled Everything in Application Insights? This may give ideas for capabilities, and if they're not there, how to get them. In other words, what else do you need to configure? If you're not a developer, I think this is one area that you will particularly want to pay attention to, as a lot of folks like myself may not regularly use this tool. In the Azure portal, the Recovery Services Vault dashboard provides access to Vault information, including the latest backup, which is also the latest restore point, the backup policy, the total size of all backup snapshots, the number of VMs that are enabled for backups. You can manage backups by using the dashboard and by drilling down to individual VMs. To begin machine backups, open the Vault on the dashboard. There are 3 built-in policies that can be leveraged. Azure Backup should be enabled for virtual machines. Configure backup on VMs of a location to an existing central vault in the same location, and deploy diagnostic settings for Recovery Services Vault to log analytics workspaces for resource-specific categories. If you are creating a brand new policy, you will need to populate several parameters such as data source, recovery service vault, schedule, and retention. After enabling backup, the backup service installs the backup extension whether or not the VM is running. An initial backup will run in accordance with your backup schedule. When backups run, note that a VM that's running has the greatest chance for capturing an application consistent recovery point. However, even if the VM is turned off, it's still backed up. Such a VM is known as offline. In this case, the recovery point will be crash consistent. Explicit outbound connectivity isn't required to allow backup of Azure VMs. In addition to schedule and retention considerations, think about other factors that may affect the decision and hence configuration of your backup policy. A backup policy is scoped to a vault. There's a limit on the number of items per policy, for example, 100 VMs. To scale, you can create duplicate policies with the same or different schedules. You can't selectively delete specific recovery points. You can't completely disable the scheduled backup and keep the data source in a protected state. The least frequent backup you can configure with the policy is to have one weekly scheduled backup. An alternate would be to stop protection with retained data and enable protection each time you want to take a backup. Take an on-demand backup and then turn off protection, but retain the backup data. Site recovery helps ensure business continuity by keeping business apps and workloads running during outages. Site recovery replicates workloads running on physical and virtual machines from a primary site to a secondary location. When an outage occurs at your primary site, you fail over to a secondary location and access apps from there. After the primary location is running again, you can fail back to it.